Change over to here to our other thing, and we're gonna bring in Katie. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is the first time I've gotten Katie on this show. I'm excited. I've done a couple of different Twitch streams with other streamers over the years, doing art streams with them, we've made videos, I've made logos, I've made graphics, I've done all sorts of fun stuff with them. Today, we're just actually going to probably chat. And so that'll be fun and a little bit different. And fans of Katie and Voice Unmuted, as she is known on Twitch, knows that Katie does like to talk about a wide variety of topics. So I'm sorry that this is well within her wheelhouse. I appreciate you staying up late to be a part of this. It's cool. We're doing like a Women's Month special tonight. We've got three powerful women, all that have ties to Canada, of all places, all on the show tonight. We started with Janaea, who is calling in from Vancouver, a friend of mine for 12 years that we've never gotten to do this live, but we got to. I have my friend Anna, who always talks hockey with me every week. She's wonderful. She was on as well, and we celebrated her birthday. And now I've got Katie, and we're going to talk a little bit about a charity raid train that Katie was a part of that was very exciting. And we're also going to talk about her latest EP that is coming out, which I'm very excited about. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in and lurking earlier. Got a ton of people joining us in chat, and I really appreciate everyone for staying tuned and up so late and doing this with us. A lot of first time chatters, so I want to give a couple shout outs to them real quick. Golden Eye, Rat Lovin, got El Beto, got Pika Woo, and is it Kejibu? Oh,
Wajibo.
Ibo. Okay. See, I usually don't have the complicated names, and so this is it's kind of fun. I get to actually, it's easier to at them, right, in chat.
Yeah,
It's
100%. I get that. It's also fun because whenever I don't know how to pronounce someone's name, I just tell them, I have a quota as a Twitch streamer. It's part of my contract. I have to mispronounce a certain number of names. So
right,
thank you for
exactly.
helping me reach that quota.
Right. Of course. I try to make my name at least very easy for people. It's Robbie G, like, and then I even put the underscore, so you can skip the rest. It's kind
Yeah,
of a given. And then I want to say shout out to Adept Gaming, and then we got Christopher Howard. And so I appreciate everyone for tuning in and being a part of this. I do want to point out, we do have a donation link that is live. If anyone still wants to, does that not work? Hold on. Let's try this one and that one. All right, so those two works. Um, and so anyway, Variety funds a lot of awesome programs. It gives children around the world a better future. They operate four core programs: vital medical equipment, services to children who are sick, disadvantaged, or living with a disability. So there's a link in chat for more information about that. And it's important. It empowers a lot of children who need it. And I know that children are really important to both Katie and myself. I work for a school during my day job. And I know that, sick and kids that deal with sicknesses and something that's an issue that's near and dear to Katie's heart. And your community has always been such an impactful part of this raid train. You've been a part of it for all 3 years, and so I want to thank you for being a part of it and bringing your awesome community into the forefront. And I want to say I'm super excited that as a whole community over the 4 days we did reach our goal in the end of hitting $10,000. So that's just really exciting. But
absolutely
people can always
amazing.
feel free to donate more if they want to. The link is in chat. But Katie, let the listeners know about your experience over the last 3 years doing it and any thoughts you wanted to give about it.
Yeah, so I actually I didn't get to be a part of it last year. I was initially scheduled to be a part of it, but I ended up having some health issues of my own, and wasn't able to stream for it. But I managed to get back in there this year, and it's such an honor to be a part of. And yeah, like you said, my community is freaking awesome. You guys are so rad. I love that I have this platform and this ability to you know have these types of streams and participate in these raid trains, and to have a community that's just so supportive of me and everything that I do, and also all of these causes that I have the opportunity to stream for. And truly, you like my community has helped me, and also in their own right has just made such a huge difference in so many lives, and it's really, really incredible. And like the Twitch community broadly, uh, has made such an incredible difference in people's lives, and genuinely, I think has made such a hugely positive impact in this world. And I'm so grateful for that. It's so great to see. I'm so glad that we were able to reach that donation goal for Variety. Variety is an incredible charity. Yeah, like you said, like it's very close to my heart. Spending having spent a lot of time in hospitals and dealing with that stuff on my own, and then running kids camps and babysitting kids who had disabilities, and just seeing kind of the different struggles that people go through, and then the ways, all of the incredible ways that Variety is able to help people kind of live their best lives is really, really awesome.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see how community can come together. I mean, the Twitch music community is so powerful, and I'm so fortunate that I get to listen to such great music all day while I work because I'm in an office by myself, working away, and it would be very lonely as somebody who's so involved with children. I mean, it's why I wanted to work for a school in the first place, and why I was a teacher
Yeah,
for many years. And in doing so, I got to teach many kids who had many a wide variety of learning issues, as did I growing up, and that's why I went to that school. And so it's
yeah,
cool to find ways to be able to give back to those types of people and, the people that really need it and just an opportunity and a chance, whether it's
yeah,
somebody who needs a new wheelchair but can't afford it, or, whether they need some sort of tools to be able to play a game or a Paralympic sport, or, there's all these opportunities there to give these people just an opportunity to try and to be
yeah.
who they are and level the playing field a little bit for somebody who might be disadvantaged. And so it's just
Yeah, to just kind
inspiring.
of eliminate some of those obstacles that they might face. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't even probably realize that they're facing. And, so it's just a really cool thing. It was funny. I was just reading sort of in chat different people. And see, I watch your streams. You have so many people commenting all the time. Where like on
Yeah.
a sports stream, I have like a couple of comments here and there, and it's fun to sort of see it all. But it's like, wow, it's a lot to take in and things like that. Especially, I have a different dynamic. 'Cause obviously, I'm interviewing somebody,
Yeah.
but it's still it's fun to see all the different directions chat can take it. I saw that somebody was saying that they were mad that the Sonics don't exist anymore, but I wanted to give a shout out that if you like hockey at all, they now have a hockey team at least. So that's is my favorite sport. So, maybe shift your allegiance from basketball to hockey. But it's our job to troll the stream. It's true. You guys do a good job. I actually had a troll in today's stream, which is very rare for me. It's one that you know very well too. And Stuart, the Mod
Oh.
Father, who's a diehard Jets fan, and of course our team lost 3-0, and he just sits there trolling. So it happens. I feel like you don't. It's a good sign that you're someone if you have someone trolling you. If no one cares,
Yeah.
then you haven't quite made it yet. So I think it's important to see. That's cool.
Coffee talk. Are you saying that you're a troll also?
You have one current. Oh no. I'm very scared when coffee comes in chat.
Sorry.
I have no idea what he's gonna say. Yeah, especially with him and my dad in the same chat. That's gonna be interesting. So we'll see how that goes for me. But thank you, Adopt Gaming, for luxury taxes. I appreciate the bits. But yeah, I was so happy to see that they hit their goal. That was the thing where I just didn't know, if we were going to, we were still about $1,000 away from it with a couple hours left when we were on KR stream. Uh,
Hmm.
and that would have been fine too. It's not like 9,000 is to be scoffed at, but there was something about hitting the goal as a community, and
Yeah.
it's something that all of the streamers wanted to be a part of and hit that milestone. And it was cool that somebody, I don't even know who did it. It was an anonymous donor, sort of hit those last couple of benchmarks in that last hour. I'm like
Amazing.
falling asleep on this couch, and I see like bings going off, and they like hit it right at the end
That's
of what
incredible.
wasn't the last streamer. It was the streamer right before the last one. They hit it
Hmm.
to hers. But just really cool. She had such positive energy, and I appreciate for everyone for bringing it all. And that's the thing is, some streams brought in more money than others, but it doesn't matter. It's about community and about keeping the train alive and with through music and community and because it used to be like telethons back in the day.
Hmm.
We don't really have that anymore. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, no, and I think it's worth saying that like or pointing out that like even if we raised like, and I don't think that this would happen, but like even if we only raised $100, that's $100 more than, than what the charity might have gotten otherwise, right? And so like any stream that's participating in that, they're bringing more eyes to the event, like they're bringing more energy to the event and keeping it going. And like if even if there's a stream that doesn't make anything that contributes to the like total bar, uh, they're still bringing people into this stream and they're still bringing people along on this train and keeping that alive and keeping the energy up and kind of making the whole thing possible. I think that that's really awesome.
yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think that it's really important just to keep the sort of the energy going because other people will rate into you. They'll bring their community.
Hmm.
You never know when
Exactly.
that one
Yeah.
person who's a member of a different community can actually give the $100 or whatever it is, even $5,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could only give like 30 this time, where, like, so like, but that's fine because I split it up $5 amongst a bunch of people that I was modding for, so that way I could like get
I
one
love
song
that.
request in each one of them, so
Yeah.
even those little things help move it along. And then people say, oh, Robbie's giving and he's modding, he's working. Maybe I'll give $5, $10. And
Hmm.
all those little numbers add up to make the total number. And
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I think that just to keep the ball rolling is so key. And so I like that we're making friends between our communities, my mod and a member of your community talking wrestling in chat, which is one of the things I love. You just never know, who's gonna be into different things and
Hmm.
adapt gaming. We're actually gonna after I'm done with Katie, we're gonna talk a little wrestling. So if you are interested, we can talk about that afterwards as well. So
Where's
um,
Wrestling God? Is he here?
I know I don't think he is, but we should. And so I'll give Champ a yeah, everyone should just definitely go follow Champ. He's a great mod and a good friend of mine, and we've done this together for years. We're part of the same network together, so it's cool, to see how these communities grow over time. I was lucky to be one of your first like 1,000 followers, and to see where you've been able to blow up to today. And I was using "Clean Air" as a song in my latest video, which is taking forever to get out. But I want to do your song justice because it meant so much to me for all those years that you played it, and then finally got released live, and then now you've got a new EP coming out, and I actually did a little command. I think here it is for the link to for the EP and all the information. And also, I don't know if there's still tickets available or if you're sold out already for your show,
I
but
think there's still 12 tickets left
nice. So
for the
there you go.
show.
You can
I
buy
know
it.
there's like at least five-ish more people who are just like the ticket procrastinators.
Yes, I know how that is. So
Yeah.
tell me about the venue that you're doing your EP release party at.
So, I wanted to lock in the date so that people would have time to kind of like book travel plans because I know that I have an international community and I didn't know how many people would be willing to travel, but I thought some people might, and we have people coming from all over. Speaking of sprung hands, Winnie the Pooh is coming from Germany,
That's crazy.
which is
But awesome. I think that's amazing.
it's insane, in the best way. And so it's just, yeah, so I wanted to lock in the date like as soon as possible so that people could start like making plans. I know a few people like got their passports just in time to come to the show, which is amazing and also terrifying to me. Um, but yeah, so I locked in the date before I had a venue
Oh
because
wow.
I was like, well, I don't know how many people to expect. It could be like 20 or it could be 100. So, or maybe more. I don't know. And so I didn't, I was like, I don't know. It'll be this day, but I don't know what size venue I need. And then I was like, I guess I should get a venue. And I reached out to a bunch of places and everybody was like, if you have some flexibility on your date, we can have you. I was like, I don't. um, so I ended up finding this smaller venue. It's like right downtown. and it's in a super old building, but it's perfect. Um, and it's like it's genuinely not much bigger than my shoebox apartment. Um,
I love
but
small venues though. They're a
yeah.
cool, intimate vibe, you know?
Yeah. But I like this one because like it does have a stage, which is cool. Terrifying, but cool. Um, and
You only
it's
performed
not
live a
like
couple of times, right? In front of like a crowd, like a handful of times, is that right?
twice, and
Nice.
I've never had to do it on a stage. There was never a stage before.
You're gonna nail it. I believe in you. And
Thank
well, at
you.
least most of these people, are gonna be cheering you on. So I
Yeah.
don't know about the trolls, but most. So
Yeah, I think like the comforting thing is that everybody who's coming from Twitch, they've all heard me mess up so many times. So they're used to it, you know? It's
yeah, if you
fine.
have to restart a
They're the
song, no
most
one's gonna be like
likely.
boo. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
so you're like you know that
exactly.
you have a friendly audience. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. People coming
Yeah.
all the way from
So
other countries. So
I know.
that's pretty
Yeah, and
cool.
it's yeah, exactly, Goldfish remix. And it's funny because the only people I'm playing a completely original set. I was going to do one cover, but I ended up not. I'm doing so completely original set, and so the only people who will really know what they're supposed to sound like are the people coming from Twitch who have heard me mess up a million times. So
Right. Perfect.
it's all good. No one will know, and everybody who does know, it's just a remix.
Right. Are you keeping your set list a surprise?
Well, I'll be playing all the songs from the EP, but outside of that, yeah, I
Nice.
am keeping
No,
it a
it's good.
surprise.
Surprises are good. So somebody I hope will make so my favorite website in the world is setlist.fm, and it's an aggregate Wikipedia for setlists. And I'll put it in the chat if people
Oh,
don't
that's cool.
know what it is. So um I've actually I collect set lists that I actually put on it. I'm such a nerd. But anyway, so I of all the different shows I've ever been to, starting way back in 1980s, right? So
My goodness.
uh, and I have almost every show I've ever been to on there,
That's
and on my
amazing.
thing. And so I have 199 set lists that I've done. So I'm about to hit 200. So each set list, so if there's three artists in a show, let's say Green Day is playing with Weezer or whatever, that would be two set lists because it was Green Day set list and Weezer set
Right.
list. So I haven't seen 200 shows, but I've seen 200 set lists. But yeah, anyway, so it's been really fun to sort of go back and I make playlists from all of it. So what I'm hoping somebody does, now that we now know about setlist.fm, hopefully somebody in chat will join in there and write down all the songs that you put, and that way it could be archived in that location forever, and people that go there can mark that they were there, which is kind of a cool thing that they can do as well. And then I could live vicariously and make a playlist later of of the songs that Katie played. So
That's so
um,
cool.
yeah, so
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome. I think it'll be funny though because like so many of my songs are unreleased.
yeah. Well, maybe people can just customize and write whatever they want. So I don't know if they have to actually find a discography of it. But what's cool is you have an artist profile because you've released music. So like by definition, I don't know if it's ever been claimed before because you've never done a live show like this, but we could claim the artist profile on there and it could be a legit thing that then gets saved to your name. So it's kind of a
Oh my
cool
gosh,
sort
I
of
didn't
a
even think of that. Yeah, because I've claimed my artist profiles on like Apple and Amazon and
Yeah, so once you're there, you're
Spotify and everything.
registered as a musician then because they have to do all that as a licensing agreement because you're also on like streaming platforms and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
offline I can show you how to even find that and we can claim it as well and make an actual page of where people could fill it in too. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that would be really cool.
yeah, so I'll do that in the back end, and we'll get together and make that because I think it'd be really cool to have your first official EP release on there. It's an aggregate people could find later, and when you're worldly famous, you can say this was the first big show, right? Anyways, but um, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. This is fun to have so many people in chat, and I know I normally do a sports show, which is probably boring for 75% of the people that are here, but it's cool to see that way. Um, uh, I- but she's played to perform before, so tell us about the two shows you've done before.
So the first show, it was like right after I released my first two singles. Um, and I guess through my dad or something, a band heard my song "The Girl," and they had a show coming up. They just happened to have one, I don't know, like 2 weeks after they heard me or heard my song, and they reached out to me and were like, "Hey, do you wanna open for our show in 2 weeks?" And I was like, "No, I don't. I'm scared." And they were like, "Think about it. Let me know by this date." And then by on that date, they like reached out again. They're like, "So, like, are you? What do you think?" And they like kind of talked me down a little bit, and they, told me that like I'm not gonna know anybody. The event is already sold out. Like, I don't have to invite anybody. They just thought it would be like a cool opportunity for me to get like a live show under my belt. And I was like, I'm really scared, but sure, I'll do it maybe. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Um, so yeah, actually that was also as my first paid gig.
Nice.
Um, yeah, but I had to travel to Quebec
Mm,
to do it. But yeah, and it was like the most Canadian thing ever. It was hosted at a poutineery,
nice.
which is fantastic. Yeah, and I think I actually like yeah, I honestly don't even remember what songs I played that day. But it was terrifying, but it was funny because there were a lot of people there because nobody knew who I was. And they were like, "You seem so confident." And I was like, "I was shaking like a leaf the whole time." And then my
People pick
second
up that
one,
you care though. And that's what the thing is. I think internally we have a lot of anxiety doing this. I'll be honest, the first 4 years of me doing this, I had to have a couple of drinks before I'd even come on and turn on the camera, right? So
yeah,
eventually you get over that a little bit, but I'm happy that you were willing to take that leap and try to be in front of, some people because I think that it's an important step and it is obviously be very different performing in front of like live people versus, a camera, but
yeah,
it's
yeah, no, well, and I
I
think
think it will translate.
yeah, and like for me, the whole my whole shtick is that like I got into streaming because at some point I just decided that if the only thing that's holding me back from doing something potentially cool that could lead to some really cool opportunities is me and me being scared, then I'm the only reason that I'm not having a good time. It's like I am the thing that is holding me back from something that could be really life changing. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to let fear be the thing that stops me from doing something. And so I keep doing things that are terrifying. And at some point, I think I should be considering how it is for my heart. But it has been really amazing, right? So like I'm still to this day scared of streaming. Um, And, I have a lot of anxiety around it, and there's lots of times during streams where my heart rate is over 100 beats per minute. It's never lower than 80, mid 80s. Um, so I have a little bit of anxiety still, but it's literally my job now. And I think it's kind of the coolest job that I could possibly have. And, I am now working in a place where I am just constantly surrounded by people who love me and care about me and want to support me. And I don't think it gets better than that.
Yeah,
So
your community is amazing. It's incredible to watch how many people from all over the world tune in, to each of your shows and it's so cool to watch like the meteoric rise. I remember those first few streams, with Josh and early on and then just like the amount of community that has sort of come around you over the last, couple of years. It's just been really cool to watch, from an outsider. One of our another early fan of yours and one of the people that I very early met through your community is Ryan, that E flat guy who just joined
love
chat, who I'm
Ryan.
actually going to have live on air next week. We're going to talk a little March Madness. But Ryan's been such a great member of both of our communities as well as I love being his mod. So I appreciate him for being here today. I think I have a for him. I don't know. Is it E flat guy? I don't know, but I'll just do it as command for him. Yeah. So you told me about one concert. What was the other concert that you had done?
Yeah, so I went to San Diego for TwitchCon, not last year, the year before, and Miley's Twerk Team, another streamer, had reached out to me asking if I would be interested in performing at an open mic if he hosted one.
Mm.
And I said, sure, I can. Yeah, open mic is usually like two songs. You get up, you go, and then you just chill. And then probably like a month before the event, he was like, "So it actually turned into an artist showcase. You have half an hour to fill."
Oh, wow.
What?
That's definitely a big
Um,
difference.
but yeah, so it was terrifying. But I think both. But this one again, like it was with mostly my Twitch community, and so everybody had heard me mess up a million times, so it got rid of a lot of the kind of anxiety that I normally feel with performing. But I think that like the best thing about my first two live shows is that I did not have enough time to panic.
Oh, yeah, that is helpful.
Because I didn't know until, very close to it. So, yeah, and I think at this point for the EP release even, I feel like I still don't have time to panic. Like I've been planning it for months now, but I have so much to do in the interim because I'm doing all of the planning and I'm doing all of the little extra things by myself.
That's crazy.
So,
It's just so funny because, like, as a sports fan, I'm superstitious, right? So, like, I don't like knowing I'm going to a game too early in advance because I get nervous.
yeah.
Like, even though I have zero effect of the game, but I always think about, like, what am I going to wear? Which outfit is it going to be? Is it going to, like, so it's just like crazy superstition. So, but I get so nervous. So, like, the last game I got to go to, someone told me about it like an hour before I got to go, and it was like the best experience ever. And I was so excited to not have to worry about it. But I want to also
Yeah.
give a shout out to Money for rating us.
Oh, great.
With the crew. So Scat Cat is in there as well, and Genuine Mischief, and True Paradox is in there as well. So thank you guys for coming over and raiding into this chat with Katie. We're just talking about her upcoming EP release, and I'm so excited about that. I do want to talk about that real quickly. I know I did quote you by 11. Do you have another couple minutes to talk
Yeah, it's
about
okay.
yours? Okay, all right. So we'll continue on. See, people usually get very scared about these interviews, but I swear they are pretty easygoing. But let's talk about this EP. I'm very excited about it. Is it 5 songs?
It is 5 songs,
Five
yeah.
songs. Okay. And you wrote them with a good friend of mine, and it's just so funny because I hadn't realized that you didn't know Dan until relatively recently, right? But
Yeah.
I had met him on the raid train 2 years ago, the same one that you were on, and fell in love with his music style. He does
Yeah.
cinematic music. He's been on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I use his music a lot for my scuba movies, and it's just really beautiful music to edit to. But he's a great producer, and I'm so happy he's gotten to work with a couple of different Twitch musicians, and now you, and he's bringing to life a lot of our favorite songs that are fans of yours. And so, first of all, why don't you let people know the songs that are going to be on the EP for the fans that might not know, and then we could talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a 5 song EP. It's a lot of my older music. So, because I mean, I started this process 2.5 years ago now. Thank goodness for Dan. But yeah, it's If I Showed You My Scars, Would You Still Want to Know Me? Salad, One More, I'll Never, and Honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, yay for Dan. We love
Yeah. I'm so happy that Dan got to produce them. And the parts that you've gotten to tease us with in a couple of different streams, I've loved so far. And I'm so excited on a personal level. It's coming out right before I go on a trip to Texas for my spring break, so I get to have it. And I rarely get to choose the music in the car, right? But on an airplane, you're wearing AirPods, right?
Yeah,
So I get to
yeah.
actually choose. So it's an actually a good opportunity for me to get to listen to it. Zach can listen to his own whatever he wants to do. Right now, he's super into Teen Titans Go.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So there's a rap in the movie that he's like reciting by words. This is how he's getting into rap music, which I think is hilarious.
I love that.
And so that's his number one thing right now, but loves all sorts of that kind of music. But I'm excited because the way that I get to introduce him to Twitch streamers music is I get to use music and do like a vlog of our trips to it. So I'm excited
Yeah.
that maybe one of these songs I might do a vlog from our Texas trip too, because I'll be listening to it in that moment. And it'll be fun because then he'll always be able to like remember that trip from that. And so he gets to go back and remember a trip from a Carly song or from an Andy song, or and it's just kind of a cool way that it gets him because he needs a visual component to the song to be like really hooked to it. And so
Yeah.
I'm excited for that opportunity for, to maybe pick one of these songs and choose it for one of our videos, as well as Clean Air, which he will, get to hear with the
Yeah.
scooter one. So
Honestly, I am honored to be a part of your videos in any way. So that's really, really awesome. Thank you.
yeah, of course. No, I love being able to highlight and showcase all of them. Josh is a big reason. Meeting you and Josh at the same time has been such an important part. I was talking to Josh, a week ago about how not this summer, but maybe the following summer, we got to take a road trip up there and visit you and Josh and KR and all these people up in Toronto.
That would be
That
awesome.
that I've gotten to love through these last 3 years, which kind of blows my mind when I think about it. How many hours we've gotten to sit together, chatting, music, all that sort of stuff, and how much it's changed my life, and I know how much it's changed yours. These communities, and it's just what a cool moment and what a celebration for that with this EP because it kind of is like encapsulates a lot of that time.
Yeah.
And to finally get it out there and to really have a somebody else listen to your music and find things in it that maybe you didn't even know yourself.
Hmm.
So I think Dan does a great job of bringing things to life, and so I'm excited to hear how your EP comes to life.
Yeah, I think Dan did an incredible job, and like working with him was so, it was honestly a relief because um, Dan is so great. Um, he's super talented, and like he made me like my songs for the first time, I think. And especially like coming from the previous producer that I was working with who like just didn't listen to my feedback ever and like kind of wanted to do his own thing with my songs and which really just wasn't it didn't line up with what I wanted. And he didn't really care what I wanted, it seemed. And so I went for, a really long time. I just hated the songs. Like I couldn't get his versions out of my head and they were wrong. Um, and so I had a really hard time coming back to this project. And so for Dan to be able to make me like those songs again was just incredible. And I'm so grateful. He did an incredible job and he was so great with feedback. Like, there was one song, he sent it back to me and I was like, this is not the vision. I like it, but it's not right for this song. Um, and so I was like, can we actually just take everything out of it except for the vocals and the acoustic guitars and start from scratch? And he was very willing to do that. He did that and with no problem and no complaint, which was great. And then I just sent him a whole new reference playlist. And then the the next version that I got back, I was like, this is almost perfect. So it was great and it was really, really awesome working with Dan. Um, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I like this comment. Thank you for Dan for getting you to actually like your songs too. I am appreciative of that too because I feel like the Twitch community appreciated your music maybe more than you even did it yourself. And so I think it's kind of cool to have somebody come in and change up what you're doing. It's kind of why I use Twitch musicians' music to inspire my video edits because I go in and I
Mhm.
see something, right? But then hearing somebody else's song and then trying to make the footage somehow fit or edit or cut to it completely changes my thought process of the footage that I just shot. And I kind of feel like, video editing and production are very similar in a lot of ways, and
Yeah.
how things are organized. And so it's cool that I use Dan's reference points all the time in my edit, and now he can use his reference points in his music with your music. And I just think that it's what a cool opportunity to reshape and remake how you think about it because you'll always have the acoustic version that you perform live, but then now you have this sort of alternate version too, which is I think really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have this EP done. It was like as much as it's like I'm so happy that we were able to get those songs to a point where I am happy with them and I like them. So it's such a relief to have it done.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it's been a journey. Um, but yeah, and I think it's fantastic that there's going to be so many people from Twitch at the EP release. Because it's kind of full circle for me. Like I didn't start writing music until months after I started streaming on Twitch. Because I very much did not think that I could write a song. I was like, nah, I don't like I think of lyrics sometimes, but like I write really cheesy, silly songs that aren't gonna be like an actual song, you know? Um, and then I wrote If I Showed You My Scars, Would You Still Want to Know Me? And I like that was prompted by I was in my first charity raid train. And it was for the American Association for Suicide Prevention or
I
Foundation
remember
for
that trend. Yeah.
Suicide. And I was watching some of the streams before me, and a lot of people were kind of talking about their story and opening up. And I was like, I love that people are doing that, and I really want to connect with people in that way, but I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not comfortable opening up about my own experience yet. And so I started to try to write a song about it, and that's how that song came about. Um, and I was so scared to share that with my community. And now every time I write a song, I'm like, guys, I wrote something new. Do you want to hear it? So I just get so excited to share it with them because even when I'm not sure about the song, I know that my community is just so supportive and encouraging of me, and it's really, really wonderful. So yeah, I mean, I would never have written any songs at all if it hadn't been for Twitch, and I definitely wouldn't have continued if it hadn't been for my community. So,
Yeah, we got a couple questions from chat for us, so that's kind of fun.
oh,
So I've saved them. I'm not gonna make people use their channel points for it, but just so that way I can keep track of them. And well, I'll ask the question to you first, and there was a question for me as well. So, the question to you was, now that you have a produced version of the song, is it going to change the way you do your acoustic version?
um, generally no, but for One More, which is the middle song in the EP, I wasn't ever going to release that one because I don't like that song. But Dan made me love it, and because of Dan's version, I am now playing it on piano.
Nice.
Because it just
Awesome.
sounds so much better on piano, and I was like, oh, this is actually not a bad song. I was just playing it on the wrong instrument for my ears, you know?
That's so cool that
Um,
that could like flip it, for you.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
was you originally were you always going to try to do 5 songs, or did it like evolve into that?
No, I was always gonna do 5 songs, yeah. I
Or was
wasn't
that the
planning.
five that because you said this was not a song you thought that you were gonna do? Did you give him more than 5 songs and you whittle it down to those?
No, I think originally The Girl was supposed to be on this EP, and then I changed my mind and released it as a single because I wanted to get something out um ahead of the EP because things were taking so long with the other producer that I was working with. So
That makes sense. All right, then the other question was from Ryan to me, and I've been stalling because I don't even know if I know the answer to it. And that's if you could if I could write a song, what would it be about? Which is an interesting question because I've never written songs. I have like written like in GarageBand, like instrumentals and things like that, but this is obviously a question about lyrics and
it
words.
doesn't have to be. I mean, the
Uh,
music is about, evoking emotion, right? So,
that's true. I guess that's true. I find I'm a terrible singer, so I feel like it would almost need to be an instrumental. I don't think anyone wants to hear that. But and I sing to my kids to put them to bed, but they tolerate that. I don't know if anybody else would. Um, so I don't know. I've always yeah, I think I'd probably if it doesn't have to have words in it, if we're gonna go that way, it'd probably be some sort of electronic music. I've always like really like drum and bass and something like that. I think that would be kind of fun to like mix and put together and be a little bit different. And just because I think I would struggle with coming up with like different melodic tunes and things like that, and like trying to figure out like a structure without necessarily having words in an
mhm.
instrumental. I think I would struggle with that, but I always have loved beats. Drumming has always been super inspirational to me. So I think that I would do something, make a beat, that as like the core foundation of whatever we're end up building.
Yeah.
I think that that would probably be my answer. If I had to come up with a topic with words, though, if we're gonna put that, I think it would only make sense if I did it something about sports, right? I think it would have to maybe a sports rap. I'm not a rapper, but I just think that that would just kind of be hilarious.
I mean,
As
I wrote a song about cheese curds, so
yeah,
you can
so
write
it's
it about anything.
possible. Exactly. So yeah.
You couldn't.
So I got a lot of great comments in here as well. Scat Cat did mention earlier about how your music makes them cry, and Scat Cat was the person who actually had that question about the produced version if it's going to change the way. Um, you could write a song about why
Sorry,
Jordan
Scott.
Poole sucks. I like that. The Golden Knight. It's a good point. Scott gets it Amy Center Field. So and Boog says I like cheese curds. So welcome Boogs the first. Welcome in the chat. And thank you everybody for joining us. I'm just so excited that the EP is coming out. I guess I wanted to give a little opportunity here at the end, Katie, for any final thoughts that you wanted to share with anybody. I'm going to put the variety links in chat in case anybody does want to donate. It should be open for the rest of this month, I believe. I know it is at least for the rest of this week, but we usually keep it open for a time. And I really believe in the cause. So if people still find it in their hearts and they want to, but didn't have an opportunity last week, I want them to be able to do that. So I'm going to do some commands, but I want you to have the floor and talk about whatever you want to talk about that's coming up, and also let people know if they don't follow you when you stream.
Yeah. So my streaming schedule right now is kind of all over the place because I'm getting ready for the EP. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the EP release, and I think that because um I really like physical copies of things. I also just really like doing things that are kind of like more artistic and crafty, and kind of providing extra fun things for people. I want to make this event like as cool as possible. I want to make it, I don't know, I think for me, a lot of it is that like I feel like it's not, I need to make it worth it for people traveling all from all over the world, which seems silly because I know that people are just coming to see me perform, but I'm like, oh no, I need to provide all of these things. So I have made for anybody who's coming to the EP release, I've made tickets. This one's a bookmark. So it's like glossy because I've taped
Ooh,
it up
nice.
to be a bookmark. So if you're not coming to the EP release and you want a ticket still, you can get it as a bookmark after the EP goes live. And then I've made little badges for everyone as well. So I
Oh,
have like
nice.
everyone's name on them. Mine just says KT. Hang on,
Nice.
it'll focus. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. So I made name badges. I've got CDs for the first time in my life, which
So
is
people can wear those and it'll have their Twitch name on it, so people can
yeah.
know
Some of
who
them
they.
have Twitch names. I reached
Yeah,
out to everybody to find out what their preference was. So some of them are first names, some of them are Twitch names, some of them are nicknames. So
that's
yeah.
awesome.
It's really exciting. Yeah. So I've been like, I, my, because I've been spending all of my time like making tickets and personalizing the tickets. So every individual ticket has the same barcode as their virtual ticket. Uh, and making these badges, and I've been writing lyrics sheets because VIPs get a free lyrics sheet and also a photo with a printout that they can keep, or they can put it on my ladder.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, because I've been working on all of these little things behind the scenes, my my stream schedule is a little all over the place. Um, and uh and also I haven't practiced my set list. I only solidified it yesterday. But yeah, so my next stream is actually, I don't typically stream on Wednesdays, but my next stream is Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then I won't have a stream again until the following Monday, which is like the first no, the 18th.
Mhm.
And that's just like my EP release week kickoff, also at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then I'm actually planning to try to do a 12-hour stream on the 21st on the Thursday. So normally on Thursdays I start at 3 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, Goldeneye. I know the morning streams. I'm so sorry. But normally on Thursdays I start at 3 p.m. Eastern time, but I'm going to start at 1 p.m. I'm going to start 2 hours earlier, and stream until 1 a.m. so that we can
Wow.
listen to the EP together. I might not be able to make it the full 12 hours. My health is kind of up and down, as everyone knows. But we'll still, even if we have to stop the stream at some point, we'll come back at like 11:30 so that we can still listen to the EP together, which will be really cool.
That is really cool. I'm excited
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. I actually will be at a concert that night on the 21st. Blue October is playing.
I don't know.
I got COVID, or my wife got COVID the last time they came to town, and they're playing like 10 minutes from our house.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And so it's a small venue. It's an amazing venue too. And so I really wanted to go. I caught COVID, so she missed her last time seeing Panic at the Disco, and she got COVID, and we couldn't go to this. So like. So I'm hoping that this is kind of the redo of that one
Yeah.
where we get
Hopefully, hopefully,
to see what
I wish
happens.
you good health.
Thank you. Yeah, and then the next day is my last day of work, and then it's like spring break after that for a week. So it's a wild next week, but
Gonna be hectic, yeah.
yeah, but I'm excited to be able to, while you are doing your show, be able to listen to the EP on the airplane, going down there. So I'm excited
Thank
about
you.
that. But yeah, everyone should definitely go and follow Voice Unmuted if you're not already. And I just put a couple of links in chat, including all of a link to your link tree and your music, but also to your Discord, because there's always a lot
Yeah.
more information over there. I don't actually have a Discord if anyone was curious about that. Not because I don't want one, but because I'm in so many that I cannot manage that, no less having my own. So, if
First
anyone
man
wants to
enough.
know what I'm up to, I do have an Instagram, which is the same name I am here. But I keep it very easy. I stream every Monday at 9 and I don't deviate. I don't have any other streams. So it doesn't really need a Discord for that. So if anybody wants to come back and talk sports with us, you can always do that. And we sometimes have these artist profiles, and sometimes we do art with them. So, Katie, I will put this out to you if you ever want an emote made and want to do it live on stream with me. The offer is there. I can make you an
Okay.
animated one or a static one, and we could have a continued chat about this, about your EP, how the release went, and we could design something together for fun. And then at the end of it, you have that to take with you. So it's kind of a
Yeah,
fun
that would be cool.
called Design with Me with Robbie G. It's a show that I've done with a lot of our favorite streamers, LG Music and KR, and we've done it with Carly and Andy, and so a lot of people. So with Josh as well. So yeah, I invite you.
Not me though.
Not you, but I've offered. To be fair, champ, I have offered you multiple times.
No,
So
you have, you have, you have, you have, you have, you have.
so someday we'll get Champ back on to do that. So, but Katie, I really appreciate the time. I know we went like an extra half an hour,
That's okay.
but I'm not surprised, but I didn't want to like overwhelm you with it. But thank you so much to your community for showing up so huge,
Okay.
and being a part of it. And I wish you the best of luck with both your live concert. I hope that somebody films clips of it so I can live vicariously through the internet.
I am
Um,
planning to stream it, so there
oh,
should at least be like a VOD available on YouTube afterward.
amazing. So I look forward to catching that, and I wish you the best of luck on that, first
Thank
on
you.
the stage and doing all that big stuff and your EP release. I hope that, I know that the songs are going to be awesome. I hope it's a smash hit, and I'm excited to see get to listen to all 5 songs and figure out which one I like the best, and and get it through all of that. And I'm excited it's not a single. I appreciate that you have released singles, but it's something about an EP in a collection that's really unique, and
Mhm.
I'm excited that it's a little bit of a dying art. So many people release singles in today's world,
I know, yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm happy that we'll get
Thanks,
to have
champ.
a
Miss
full
champ.
EP with you and Dan, and hopefully we'll have you back on to talk more about it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for having me and for letting me go on and on about my EP things.
No, I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
an
This is what it
exciting
was
time.
for. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, of course. I look
Katie,
forward to
Katie,
it.
congratulations on the EP.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much. Thanks, champ.
Yeah.
I definitely want. I'll definitely go and seek it out. Will it be on Spotify?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it'll be on Spotify.
Yeah,
I
the
have a
pre-order.
Spotify pre-save
Yep,
somewhere.
it's right
Yeah.
here. actually. So if
Perfect. Thanks, Robbie.
you click that link, the top one in the middle of that one, it will get you to Spotify. And then it'll be on other platforms at the same time, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be everywhere at the same time.
So yeah, you can search for Katie Seto on, I assume it's gonna be under that for,
Yeah.
I will definitely check it out.
yeah, awesome. Definitely should. Well, Katie, any final thoughts before I let you go?
No, that's all for me. Thank you so much again for having me.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll look forward to your streams upcoming, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you then.
All right, bye. All right. Well, that was so much fun. I appreciate Katie for joining and talking about her new EP and all that. And thank you everyone for tuning in. And it's cool to know there are some people that are wrestling fans in chat. So I think we'll start off.